And then we get to the Superstar of the Year. So the nominees were Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt, and John Cena.
John Cena, I didn't think he was even a nominee.
Oh, no, John Cena's always a nominee, even though he never wins. Or, no, he's won like 4 times. Sorry. He's won like 3 or 4 times. He wins more often than not. But I was hoping that he wouldn't win, so I'm glad he didn't. But Roman Reigns took home the award to a very huge backlash from the crowd, from a lot of the internet people. He didn't come out to a big pop. I thought he came out to a fine pop. But I like Roman Reigns. I was happy to see him back. I did not have the biggest problem with this, as a lot of people did. I could see why people thought that. But I'll get into my thoughts on that in a second. But Brandon, I'll ask you first. Do you think Roman Reigns was really superstar worthy from a storyline standpoint? And do you think the voting was rigged?
He's ready in terms of a look. The chicks love him. Last night that pop, the few minutes of what I did watch, I saw that, and every lady screamed. Like I was all out. I told my wife. I looked at my wife. I was all. She's like, "Wow!" Every lady screamed for him. And I personally would have went with D-Bry just because the climatic year he had ending at WrestleMania, that kind of dwindling away. I think that really hurt him. But I do think he's ready. But in the ring wise, he needs more work, and I think they should wait to 32 and then have Lesnar put him over at 32. No belt on the line. Maybe he has a belt, and it's like Brock Lesnar challenges him, my career versus your belt thing. But I don't think he's ready quite yet. Maybe a SummerSlam, but he needs a good, especially after this injury, he may just completely F up this whole injury and not, come through. So I would wait another year. But that's just me. They may want to rush him to the moon, but I think it's gonna hurt him more than help him if they push him off the bat.
I think the injury, and I was in the minority when this first broke, but when the injury first happened back in September, a lot of people thought it was a good thing and that he would come back to a huge pop, like all this other stuff, and he obviously didn't come back to a huge pop last night, or at least from the male audience, whatever. But a lot of people thought it'd be for the better for Roman Reigns, and I did not think that way in the sense that in those final few months of 2014, like for the last 3 months that he could have been here, that he could have been here, that he could have improved on the mic, in the ring, whatever. He could have used that time to improve. And he can still improve before WrestleMania. We still have time, but there is not much time, especially if he's going to win the Royal Rumble, which at this point it's looking very, very likely. And they still have yet to confirm when he's coming back. I don't know if he's coming back next week, or they haven't really said. They're waiting to confirm because I think I don't want them, or they don't want us to think that he's coming back next week and he doesn't. They can't not deliver like they have done with a million stuff before. But like I was saying before, though, I did not have the biggest problem with this, if only because John Cena didn't win, so that's the bright side. But, you were saying Daniel Bryan or Brock Lesnar, but from my perspective, I mean, I'm not going to say it was rigged, because all the other nominees made sense from a fan perspective, like why people would vote them. Roman Reigns, for one thing, the fans are going to vote a babyface over a heel, so I can see why Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar, both guys who deserved it more, didn't win. I can see that. But then why would Roman Reigns get the vote over a John Cena or a Daniel Bryan? But then again, Daniel Bryan was backstage, I guess, but he wasn't used, so maybe they flew him in just in case that he won. I really have no idea. But before I go any further, RJ, I want to get your thoughts. Do you think Roman Reigns was superstar of the year worthy?
It's not like I was pissed Roman Reigns won or anything.
It's a slammy, people.
I don't really care. I didn't lose sleep over the fact that he won. I like Roman Reigns. I just think I just thought that there was. I think he was probably the least deserving of the award out of everyone besides Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. I think I would have had it Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Cena, then Roman Reigns. I don't think Roman Reigns had that good of a year that he should have won Superstar. He didn't have any he didn't win anything big. He didn't have any championships.
Well, he had some success in the Shield, but aside from that,
but then once he went singles, he beat Randy Orton a couple times. He lost in the Money in the Bank thing.
Yep.
I just think that I thought Daniel Bryan would have been the obvious pick. I think if it was the fans would pick Daniel Bryan. I don't know why they wouldn't pick Daniel Bryan. He had his best career from last year going into this year until his injury. But I thought Lesnar was more deserving. Obviously, he beat the streak, beat Cena. Champion the whole year, pretty much. Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank. He's been dominant this whole year. Cena's Cena, obviously. So I think I'm not gonna cry about that. Yeah. Roman Reigns won. I just think that the other people were more deserving than he was, and I think that it was a little ridiculous that the Cena Authority match won Match of the Year too. I think The Evolution and the Shield match was better, and the Triple Threat was way better too.
It was probably because that match was more clear in our memories. It happened more recently, and because it's staying, like you said, and we were talking about this earlier today. I don't have a huge problem with that. Like I said before, it's good because
I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
If it was the Bray Wyatt Cena match, I would
have been pissed about. Yeah, because the Slammy Awards are the Slammy Awards. They've always treated them like a joke. So, like you said, it's not really worth getting upset over. So I didn't really have a problem with that, or the match of the year, or whatever else. But yeah, if anything, I think Roman Reigns could have won the Breakout Star of the Year.
I don't know if Dean Ambrose won that.
Yeah, he won that, and I think all the members of the Shield were nominated for both awards, like a Breakout Star and Superstar. I thought there were two different things. I don't really know. They're probably short on main event talent to include in these polls, so I'm not really surprised. Actually, if anything, you take out maybe even Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt or something, you put in Randy Orton. Where was Randy Orton in that poll? The guy was world champion for the first 4 or 5 months of this year. I know he didn't really have the best second half of the year, but he probably would have been more deserving than Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's funny too because most of the people that won awards on last night's show weren't even at this show.
That was so annoying. I think they really dropped the ball on that one too.
Yeah, like most of the people weren't even there.
Like if you're up for an award, just show up. Like
or at least have them fly. I don't put it on the people themselves. I have put it on WWE for not thinking this through. If they know they're probably going to win.
I think Jericho's going to win though.
I don't know.
What was the other ones? I don't think the other ones.
Rock won a few of them. Ultimate Warrior, obviously, he passed away, so couldn't accept his.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose couldn't accept his in the pre-show because he was still injured at that point in time. The match of the year, something I can't remember what the awards were, but
Fandango got stupid Jericho's one.
Yeah, and they haven't feuded in a year and a half. That was so pointless. And Jericho's going to be on next week's show as a guest host too, so that should be interesting. Brock Lesnar's going to be back, so I look forward to that. But yeah, I didn't have a huge problem with Roman Reigns winning, but hopefully this doesn't affect his push going into WrestleMania. I don't have the biggest problem with him beating Brock Lesnar. It's really all going to depend on whether he's ready. I mean, we're not going to be able to find out until he gets back in the ring, whenever that's going to be in a couple weeks. In the Rumble match itself, we'll find out in due time.